What's up, everyone? My name is Pete Bailey. Welcome to the Primordial Radio YouTube channel. First and foremost, thank you so much for checking out the channel. If you could do us a solid and hit the subscribe button, it would be hugely appreciated. It will help us grow the channel and bring you more cool shit like what we have for you today. Interview with Dorothy. Yes, an artist that is absolutely killing it over in the States. And really breaking into the mainstream as well, something that many artists, many rock artists have struggled with immensely over the past decade or so. So a fascinating conversation. Let's get into it.
Primordial Radio.
Primordial Radio, my name is Pete Bailey. Delighted now to welcome to the show Dorothy. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm really good, thank you. I'm really good. So yeah, you're getting ready for rehearsals, big tour coming up. So just tell me a little bit about that. It all sounds very exciting.
Yes, it's really exciting. I'm in LA right now. I'm at my hotel. We're rehearsing for this headlining tour that starts in about a week, the Gifts from the Holy Ghost tour. And we are getting ready to put out a new album, which is all very exciting. And I'm very happy to be talking to you this morning.
And there's so much to talk about with the new album, everything like that. And I feel like I want to come to that. But this is my first time chatting to you. So I just kind of wanted to get to know you a little bit more, because your debut album, Rock Is Dead, came out in 2016. But you strike me as a person whose life has probably been involved with music from the cradle. Would I be right in that assessment?
Yes, obviously I've always loved music. And my stepdad had a very large vinyl record collection, mostly Bob Dylan and some Michael Jackson and some Simon and Garfunkel, lots of folk music. And the first thing I remember hearing that really impacted me was Pink Floyd.
Oh, so, yes. Yeah.
And Creedence Clearwater Revival. There were so many good records in there.
We've had loads of features over the years on the radio station called Credence O'Clock, where just like, certain times it's like, right, it's Credence O'Clock, and just like a random pick from the disc.
How do I not know about this?
It's always been such good fun.
What's funny? John Fogerty's actually, I didn't realize this, but now looking back, John Fogerty is one of my vocal influences. It just seeped into me. And now I pronounce things like him. It's the weirdest thing.
So from afar, like, to me, because obviously, so I'm here in the UK, you're in Los Angeles. It seems like, from my perspective over here, that like you're sort of really owning the rock scene in America right now, which is really cool. But also, you seem to be breaking into the mainstream at the same time as well. And I can probably list, so many bands that, this I'd be like, how's that happening? But does it feel like that from your perspective, that you are sort of starting to crack that door into the mainstream?
I would hope so. I would really certainly hope so. And it's funny you say that, because I kind of had that sense about this album. It does have, I think, that capability, but I'm so like, enthralled, like overwhelmed and overjoyed to hear your perspective, because I don't really think about it every day like that. So to hear an outside perspective that's how it seems over there, then we must be doing something right, because that just makes my day. That's the best news I could receive all day.
Well, it does definitely seem like that, and I think it's really fascinating, because I feel like rock's relationship with the mainstream is like really fractured at the moment.
It is.
There's some artists that can break through, and then I feel like a lot of mainstream outlets don't really want a relationship with rock music, but we won't give up kind of thing. Have you had to overcome a lot of obstacles along the way to get where you are now?
Life in general, yes. However, in the rock community, we've gotten so much support. It's amazing. I just, from radio stations, from fans, from venues, from everyone. It's just been really, that's what's cool about the rock community. We're like a family. It's we wrote a song about it called Black Sheep. I wrote it with Scott Stevens and the Four Horsemen.
Amazing.
And it's for the rock fans. It's for the rock community, because we're like family. And, I feel like I'm a black sheep, and I think a lot of people can relate to that. So we are a tight knit group. I feel like there's a camaraderie that's really special and organic, but then when you get to break into the mainstream, that's all the more powerful.
So let's talk about your new album then. So Gifts from the Holy Ghost. Now, I was just reading the press release earlier. So it's looking like it's going to be out in the spring of this year.
Yes, it drops in April. While we're on tour, while we're around the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Nice, nice. So tell me about the arrangement of the album, how you kind of put albums together. Because obviously you're a solo artist, but you work with lots of different collaborators, and I can imagine you're working with a lot of different people in terms of songwriting and structure. So how does it all sort of come together into a fully finished album at the end of it?
Each album is different. Each journey is different, and each album cycle with whatever group of people happens to be around is a learning experience. And so I learned what worked for me and what didn't, and I really got to lean in and hone in on more of the sound I wanted, because we took a little deviation, a little detour into LSD, Laurel Canyon land, for 28 Days in the Valley, and then the first album was a little more hard rock, bluesy, and ironically not produced by rock producers, I think, but I don't think that matters. I learned what worked, I learned what didn't, and in the past, what I noticed it can kind of be difficult is when there's too many cooks in the kitchen. And this time around, I was sort of on my own, but it was such a blessing because I was able to identify, what I wanted and just tune in to my intuition and what felt right, what felt good, what do I want to do, and stop listening to all the noise out there of what you should be and what's going to sell and this and that. And, and then we went through the apocalypse and, and I'm like, I can't just sit here. I have to make a record, because I knew we would get through it. And once we did, we would have rock shows again, we'd have concerts again, and we would need music and hope and inspiration. So I was like, I'm going to make the most inspiring, uplifting rock and roll record that I can make. And people would call me, like Trevor Lukather called me, hey Dee, you want to get in the studio and write? So we did 3 songs together. He's an incredible guitar player, incredible producer. I love that guy. Keith Wallen, who I met when we were opening for Breaking Benjamin, we connected on the road, and he's like, I want to work with you, and I'm like, I'm so down. And I'm honored. He's incredible. That guy can sing anything. Incredible songwriter. Like his melodies, his pop sensibilities, actually hard rock band, but his pop sensibilities are they're there. He's got it. And so we wrote a ton of songs together. Someone's name would come to me. I was like, yeah, what about Jason Hook? He's out in Vegas. I'll just drive out there. I drove out there, did a bunch of songs with him. One of my favorite lyrics on the album is in a song that will be put out later this year called A Beautiful Life. And the theme of the album and my life motto is don't let the demons get you down. That's my favorite lyric. We just shot the music video for that one. And, I would just reach out and work with people. Chris Lord-Alge got involved. Phil X got involved. Chris Traynor from Bush got involved. Scott Stevens, Marty Fredrickson, Zach Malloy, and Blair Daly. They wrote Rest in Peace for me. So I was like, of course I have to take this song. It's amazing. And then we wrote Black Sheep together. So it was just this convergence of talent. It was really mind blowing how it all came together, and trusting the journey. This time, like I said, I was a little more on my own, driving the bus, riding off into the sunset and searching for these songs. And they would come to me, or I would write and collaborate with someone. And if something didn't sound right or feel right, I wasn't what's the word? I wasn't compromising. I refused to compromise. It didn't feel good. It didn't sound right. It wasn't where I wanted it to be. I was going to get it to where I wanted it to be, or find something else. And so it was really a great journey, a really good learning experience. And I'm incredibly proud of this album. I think we have 10 strong songs. I think the message is beautiful, and all the people that were involved are just wonderful. And I love my team so much. So,
life's too short to write an album you don't want to put out, essentially.
Right.
You just got to do what you want to do. Now, I see that you're doing so many dates all over the States, which is amazing to see. But a friend of mine said on their socials the other day, he said, oh, God, whoever books Dorothy for the UK is going to make a lot of money. So are you going? And I couldn't agree more, to be honest. So, yeah, we're dying to see you here in the UK. Hoping you'll be able to come over. And any plans to go over to the UK?
Yes, definitely. I hear it all the time. UK, Australia, South America. I get the requests. I see it on social media. So just so everyone knows, I do see the messages from you guys, and we've been dying to come to the UK for years. I mean, I've been touring for 7 years. 6, 7
Have you played
years.
the UK before?
We did a brief little run. We partnered with Stance Socks, and we did. I was in Berlin, London, but we need to do a legitimate. And I don't care if we're opening. I don't care if we're headlining or opening. I just want to get over there and finally meet everybody. So there are definite plans for that.
Amazing. Well, we can't wait to get you over to the UK. So as part of the radio station, every member of the station has the ability to vote on the tracks that we play on the station, and then we put that into a top 40 chart every week, and it's decided entirely by the listeners of the station. And Rest in Peace is currently number 1 in the top 40 on the chart, which has been amazing.
Wow.
It's been climbing up so great, and I'd say it's decided entirely by the listeners. So we're going to play this track now. So just tell me a little bit about Rest in Peace.
Rest in Peace is an anti-love letter. Scott Stevens, those guys wrote it with me in mind, and I was just so blown away because he took the words right out of my mouth. It's a beautiful song. It's very powerful. It sounds like a breakup song, and it definitely listens and reads like that. But to me, it's about telling your demons to, get lost and rising above that. Like, you can't hang your chains on me. You can't oppress me anymore. You don't have a say in this. I'm not partnering with you, and rising above that, because what we speak into the atmosphere has power. The words we say, you're either blessing your life or cursing your life every day. I want people to be conscious of the inner dialogue and the things that they speak out, because that says a lot about, what you believe about yourself and the direction your life is going. The tongue is like a rudder that steers the ship. So that's the message. Just be conscious and aware. And if you don't believe that you can change your life that way, fake it till you make it, because you can. I wouldn't be here saying this to you if that wasn't true.
Primordial Radio.